What's up, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So, Don, with the Don Fron Show, we're going to talk about Tesla. I know it's Tuesday, so, right, this is Don Fron Trading. I go live on Don Fron Show. Tesla's usually a popular one that gets called out, so it's just going to get its own video right here. On Don Fron Show, we'll talk about the dollar, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the S&P. We'll talk about Powell speaking this morning. We'll talk about CPI on Thursday, kind of where I think the market's going, where we're placing those bets. Let's talk about some Tesla bets right now. I did take my first, so we've been selling options contracts aggressively. If you're part of my mentorship group, then you know this. I sold the 100 strike calls, and they were all right. They were in the money. Dropped that thing down. That was great. Rolled it was the 105s. Then I sold the 100s. They popped up. I did roll to the next week. So it's like the first, big chunk. Looks worse on paper, but we'll get to that in a second. I know a lot of people are talking about is Tesla's cheap. This is a buy point for a lot of people. There's a lot of opinions out there. And the cool thing about the stock market is you can have your own opinion, right? If you think Tesla's going to zero, sweet. Hopefully you're short. If you have that much conviction, short it. Put your money where your mouth is, or just stop talking. That's a thing. Shut your mouth. Anyway, because we're going to be nice this year. If you think Tesla's going to the moon, it's going to be a $30 trillion market cap. Put your money where your mouth is. Load the boat. The only person I know that thinks it's going to be a $30 trillion market cap happens to have 100% Tesla. It's Solving the Money Problem YouTube channel. So it's some form of variation. Put your money where your mouth is, and let's see the profits from it. Personally, I think the bottom is not here yet. But where I think it ends up being worth it, investment-wise, is this. I know it's a bright yellow zone. We don't look like we're that far from it, but 118, I'm thinking $85. Oh, 87, just cracking the 90s maybe. Decent. Now, I think, ooh, man, the really cheap part, I think, would be this 60 zone down here. But really, I think a lot of people are going to think that is worth it to me once it's sub 100. And, well, like I said, that's where I'm going to buy more, and we'll see how it pans out. So I care about your opinion if you're in it, plan to be in it. If you're not, the internet's got enough opinions, so we don't need to hear it. So tell me about your opinion and what you're going to do with your Tesla position. And let's just... Yeah, if you're going to comment down below, tell me about your position. Let's talk about our Tesla positions, not your worthless opinion that doesn't matter. I have no idea why I'm being this aggressive either. Sorry about that. Anyway, I know there's a lot of emotions going around with Tesla because the bulls think it's just going to the moon. This doesn't make sense. Bears finally get a day to talk, in which I have shares, but I've been aggressively shorting it. So... Anyway, I don't think it's done. I think we spill a little bit more. I do think we're probably bullish tomorrow, kind of more of a melt up for CPI, and then maybe the excuse to send it down. Either way, I think automotive is just not going to do well, especially this first quarter. So I think we're almost there, but that's where I'm looking to probably add. I've been selling calls. If you haven't been following me for a while, I've been selling calls, and so this is something I do in my mentorship group. Now, this is actually just... let me get that out of here. Yeah, let's block these numbers with my head. Hang on, let me scoot over. Ooh, look at that go. Magic. So, I've been selling Tesla calls. You can see right here. I'm using the TOS account for this. And this is how much premium I've collected. Now, all that's doing is just sitting in the account. So I'll take this premium and I'll buy more shares. And that's how I snowball things like in my investment account. This is the big one I finally just locked in, technically. Like I said, it looks worse on paper because, look at that. I had to pay $12 to close. So I opened this contract. I sold it to open, which is a short position. So I collected $910. But Tesla had that green day, because it's the bottom and... Yeah, everyone's got a reason why. So I had to buy to close it. So I had to buy to close it for $2,110. Ultimately, $12 is what I had to come out of pocket to pay for. Now, what I did was I rolled the position, so I actually collected money because I closed this and opened this at the same time, and I sold this one for $2,300. So just a little bit more now. So overall, in that position, what I did was I didn't fork up another $1,200. I collected another $200 in that. But how it pans out, if I get assigned right now, I'll get to keep all this premium. So we'll knock $23. Right now, I'm gonna add that to my my average price. So we'll take $23 right back off. That'll be my average price. But then I sold the shares at 100, and that'll kind of be our loss, less whatever gains we had here. So that would add $2,300 back to this. So it still ended up being an L. I have no intention of actually selling my shares. It's the reason why I rolled it, because we were getting in the money, and I don't want to have just Friday's expiration in the money like that when we're that in the money. I kind of like at the money. I was definitely reaching on this. I pushed another $5. Got my hand cut. What, you got your hand caught in the cookie jar? No, they're just saying like that somewhere out there. I was starting to get greedy, but Tesla was just in a free fall. So it's been pretty easy. I could have been way more aggressive with it in the first place. Like when I sold these 120s, they were in the money. The 110s, I think, were in the money. So it's been fun. So right now, these today also were up at one point over $500. Now this is per contract. So there's still some time left on these. That'll just probably dwindle away. It's closer to a 1-to-1, so that'll actually move and be a pretty decent hedge. So overall, my Tesla position with something in the money like that, delta-wise, I'm borderline pretty flat. But with no intentions of selling, I'm going to wait for time to close. I doubt I close this one for anything cheap if Tesla doesn't get that massive sell-off. If it does, I'll be just fine. I'll collect another $2,000 per contract, and we'll just sell the next one. So I think of this as like when you're playing slots at the casino. The slots always win, but occasionally someone gets a jackpot. Like there was the jackpot payout. Now I got to collect the rest of them again. So we'll suck whatever time value is left on that. That will encompass earnings, so that's going to be very tricky because as earnings gets closer, you'll see IV creep up. With that volatility creeping up, you'll watch these contracts just go up. I will have to hedge that somehow. As far as my shares go, hopefully we're just down. Now, if we melt off and that contract's good, I'll just close it and we'll call it a day. And then I'll sell some. For earnings, I'll probably sell something above my average cost, just in case it does get ridiculous. Earnings typically dud out, so maybe I'll go above. Maybe I'll just go maybe 2 standard deviations that week. It'll still be juiced up for me to collect something. It'll still get crushed. The real move for Tesla is the deliveries. I've said this so many times because there's like delivery numbers. Tesla has its reaction, and then earnings is always like almost borderline a dud because we already know the information. Like we have a pretty good idea of what the cars are going to sell for, so margins are usually off by 1% or 2, but we have a pretty good idea, so it doesn't do too much. But just in case it does surprise, I don't want to get caught stepping on my own. You know what? It's pretty painful. So, that's my play there so far. I kind of hope we grind up tomorrow a little bit. I probably won't do anything with that contract now. I'm going to let that one settle down. It's already deep enough in the money. But as far as Tesla goes, I'm thinking green. If I had to we're talking throw it at the wall, see if it sticks, throwing darts. I bet we get above. This is my alert to short it, actually. I bet we get just outside standard deviation. I'm thinking tomorrow's kind of a grind up, melt up, and then CPI tanks it. Which is funny because this morning I was thinking CPI would be an easy beat looking at it. So I'm definitely still 50-50. Hopefully Tesla just does its own thing like it normally does. For everyone calling the bottom on Tesla, I would pump the brakes on that. We've seen this price action before. See how it's like basing out? See how that's basing out? See how that's every time someone called a bottom on Tesla at each one of these. And then you guys remember Meta? It's done this multiple times, right? Bases out, next leg down. You know what's even famous for this? Baba. How much money have we made going short this stock in my group? And just watching everybody call the bottom on this. We're on the weekly, so each one of these green candles. Yeah, this thing would base out. It's the bottom. We just go short it, just hammer it down. Well, we're on the. Let's get back to the daily. There was another bottom, came right back in. There's another bottom, melted right back off. This time's for sure the bottom. Here comes your higher low. JK, sent it right back down. There's another bottom, sent it right back down. Another one, horizontal, could be the bottom, sent it right back down. We're probably doing the same thing again. So I imagine Tesla's going to look a lot like that for a little bit until it actually does change course. It changes that trend. We get the higher high. It pulls back. It makes the higher low. You're almost there. It's got to push back up, make a higher high. At that point, we've established some new buyers are coming in. For whatever excuses they want to stack up and sell themselves at night to get to sleep, whatever reason it is, doesn't matter. More buyers will eventually push it up. But until those buyers show up, then we got to just... Personally, I got to remain short. And for the Tesla bulls out there, I know it's... I'm trying so hard not to be sarcastic. For sometimes when I make a video like this, you guys just don't understand. I'm in Tesla. I don't mind it going down because I have options contracts against it. It's like, you guys can be an investor all you want. It's fine and dandy. It's fantastic. I don't like to just watch my money dwindle away. Like I guess I'm a different person. So if I'm going to have that unit, I'm at least going to collect some rent on it, which is usually why I can come on here and mock investors and say I will make more money than them using their own tickers, their time frames. It's an open invitation. I made that announcement a long time ago. No one's ever taken me up on it. But as a refresher, if you're an investor and you think a trader can't beat you, you just tell me the time frame. You tell me your tickers that you're going to buy and hold, and then I'll trade those. We'll check back at the end of the year, and not. I guess it's not how much I beat you by, not if I beat you, but like how much will I beat you by? Personally, I would think a full blown lap. Anyway, gosh, this one's aggressive. Sorry about that. If you're curious about that, there's one more announcement. I know this is a Tesla video. Guys, I started another account in E-Trade, and I started putting $100 a week into it. Just because I was going to make this video in December. I was going to show off just what it's like if you just take a little bit of money and put it in there. Turns out, Jeremy Lefebvre from Financial Education 1 through 26, plus the other one, Jeremy Lefebvre Makes Money. Like, the guy, every time he loses $1 in Tattooed Chef, I think he creates a YouTube channel. Anyway, he's got one now. He's doing that. He's doing $150 a week. He's just going to show you how to build a beast account. And it's on his Patreon for $10 a month. Tell me in the comments, should I just copy that right now and not make the video in December? I'll just post all my trades. Or I don't know if it'll be a trade. We're going to build that. You can't really trade with $500. It's going to take a little bit to get some meat in the bones. But then, yeah. Sounds like December, I'm making a comparison video. But do you want to join along the way? Do I need to make a Patreon for that? No, let me know in the comments down below. If not, just subscribe. That part's free. And I'll see you guys in the next video.